Give a little more.
What's up, everybody? Peace.
Open my eyes. I just took the red pill. I've been moving different when they see me.
Everybody, thank you. Once again, I want to let everybody know that I appreciate you subscribing to this channel, supporting this channel. It does not go without any respect of you, the audience. This is what I do it for. I love football. I love sports. And this is an aspect that I definitely love reporting on. But I want everybody to bear with me that's listening to this video, because I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be honest with you as it relates to Coach Primetime. Coach Prime, let me just say this. A lot of the criticism, we got Coach Narduzzi, who jumps out of the, he wants to jump out of the window and make accusations about Coach Prime and the methods that he's engaging in to rebuild a roster that was a 1-11 roster. Coach Prime told everybody what he was going to do. It was no secret. I talked about this in one of the videos that I did, and I got to continue talking about this because we've got people out here who continue to keep hating on Coach Prime. You've got other coaches that are jumping out of the window talking about, oh, I don't like the way he's using the transfer portal. They had nothing to say about how the other coaches used the portal until Coach Prime came on the scene. What I'm going to tell you right now, folks, is that I think this has everything to do with jealousy and envy, because Coach Prime is making these other coaches look bad because of the way he's retooling the roster. It's actually, to me, a bad reflection on the coaches, because it makes it look like they're not doing their job to make their teams better. I'm going to say it again. Coach Prime did not create the rules. The rules were set in place a long time before Coach Prime came along. Now, he's definitely taking advantage of the transfer portal, but there's other coaches that are taking advantage of it, and nobody's talking about those coaches at all. They're just focusing on Coach Prime. Has everybody forgotten about Lincoln Riley of USC, who used the same methodologies to do what he needed to do to revamp his roster? Did anybody criticize him? Because this rule was put in place by the NCAA prior to Coach Prime being a part of a Power 5 program. This rule allows first-year head coaches like Prime, by giving them the ability to remove players, and I said this again in previous videos, to remove players with the goal of retooling the football team to retain scholarships. Let me let you hear Coach Prime and what he said about the recruiting.
That's who we are. That's what we are. I hear it all the time. Every time I take a picture with one of the mothers that the kids, she said, I brought my Louis. So that's just hilarious to me, because they're listening to those things. But we embody that. We're training now in that weight room because we're coming. Our coaches up there preparing practice scripts and game plans because they're coming. I mean, these kids we're recruiting our butts off. We're not recruiting just no ordinary Tom, Dick, and Harry. We recruiting some guys that can light up their scoreboard and prevent touchdowns from occurring. We're coming, and we're serious about that.
Coach Prime?
Yes, sir.
Voice of the boss, Mark Johnson.
I just want to say, once again, you got a lot of haters out here. I believe personally that this is about jealousy because Coach Prime is doing something that's unprecedented. Now, yes, there's been about 70 players they're saying that have left the school. Coach Prime told all of the players from day one that there would be changes to the roster. Those that want to stay would have to earn their spot. Those that do not want to stay have the right to get into the transfer portal and go where they want to go, but there was no guarantee that they would get picked up by a school. We're acting like Coach Prime is the only new head coach, our head coach, that's released players from scholarships to retain scholarships to recruit and retain transfer portals and to recruit out of high school or junior college. We're acting like he's the only one that has employed these tactics. I think because of the spotlight is on him, it's getting a bigger magnified glass. And because of his energy and who he is and what he brings to the table, all of his energy and his swagger, I think the other coaches are getting scared. I think they're getting jealous. So they're going to throw little shots at Coach Prime. Let me just go over it. No. Coach Narduzzi. I don't even know if I'm saying his name correct. Pat Narduzzi. This is what he had to say. This is what he said loud and clear. He doesn't like the fact that Coach Prime is utilizing the transfer portal and getting an advantage at getting some of the best prospects in the country. And Colorado right now is ranked number 1 when it comes to transfer portal prospects. But this is what Pat Narduzzi was saying. He said that that's not the way that the transfer portal was meant to be. Narduzzi said that that's not what the rule intended it to be, and it was not to overhaul your roster. But this is the thing that he's not letting you know, folks. There is no rule in the NCAA that says that Coach Prime or any coach cannot revamp their roster. Now, what Pat Narduzzi wants to make you think that he's so concerned about the kids is if the University of Pitt has never released players out of their scholarships, pushed players away. I think what's really going on with Pat Narduzzi, and I'm going to expose that right here and now, is that he's concerned that he's losing players or that he could potentially lose a player to someone like Coach Prime. Now, he went on to say that the reflection is on one guy right now, that being Coach Prime. But when you look at it overall, those kids that have moms and dads and brothers and sisters and goals in life, I don't know how many of those 70 that left really wanted to leave or they were kicked in the butt to get out. Now, Pat Narduzzi needs to shut his mouth. He needs to worry about the University of Pitt. They went 9-4 a year ago. That's a hell of a lot better than where Colorado was a year ago. But he should mind his P's and Q's and worry about the University of Pitt. Or hell, schedule a game against Colorado. If you're so concerned, show that you got a better team. But I don't know why he's meddling in the affairs of Coach Prime and what Prime is doing, because I'm going to tell you right now, everybody that's been following this channel, and I appreciate you. You know damn well as I know that if Coach Prime does not produce a winning product, he's going to have hell to pay. He's going to have the press all over him. He's going to have the naysayers tipping at the back to tear him down. But if he starts winning, you're going to have people that say, oh, well, that's what we expected all of a sudden, right? People want to ride with you when you're high and be down when you're low. Pat Narduzzi is concerned about the fact that he may lose players to Prime or any other coach that employs the same tactics. Once again, Coach Prime didn't create these rules. He didn't make it up. How about Pat Narduzzi worry about his own football team, Maybe if you work a little bit harder, get yourself some swagger, Pat Narduzzi, and get out there and get kids in a transfer portal and reshape your team to win, and worry about the affairs of your school and not the affairs of Colorado and Coach Prime and what he's doing with his young men to win. That's what you should be worrying about, not Coach Prime and what he's doing, because he's actually following a rule that he didn't set forth, but yet the NCAA set forth. Pat Narduzzi, get it through your thick skin and head. People don't like Coach Prime's tactics. But I'm going to say this again. His tactics are legal under the NCAA rules. Pat Narduzzi, your problem is not with Coach Prime, sir. You shouldn't have called him out. I think that was disrespectful. See, your problem should be, instead of talking about Prime and smacking your gums about Coach Prime, maybe you need to be picking up a phone and calling the NCAA and laying your complaints about the system with them. But then again, you may sound like you're whining or crying. Okay? I'm just going to tell the truth and shame the devil. You see, the problem is not with Coach Prime. The problem is that the NCAA has changed the rule. What's happening is that coaches like Pat Narduzzi are upset because the players have a little bit more wiggle room to be free agents and do what they want to do. You see, nobody complained about rules when it favored coaches like Pat Narduzzi to do whatever you wanted to do with players. Remember, there was a time that if a player transferred, they lost 1 year of eligibility. There was no wiggle room, no power that the players had at all, not to mention the money off the bowl games and that the NCAA was getting, as well as coaches like a Pat Narduzzi or anyone like him. But once again, everybody doesn't like what Coach Prime is doing because they see the writing on the wall that Coach Prime is about to build a dynasty. He's about to build something big there. And they know that they don't have the swagger. They don't have the social media know-how. They don't have the gift of gab like Coach Prime to talk to these young players and to understand what these young players want. Not to mention they don't have the credentials of Coach Prime. They're not Hall of Fame football players or college football players or stars coming out of high school. They don't have a yellow jacket. They're not winners at the level of being an athlete themselves. So they can't really teach these football players what Coach Prime can teach them because they never did it themselves at the highest level. So the first thing that they want to do is say, oh, we don't like the way he's using the system. That's what you said, Pat Narduzzi, and I'm here to call you out for your tactics. You're claiming that 70 of his kids probably didn't want to leave but were forced out. How do you know that? How do you know that Coach Prime didn't get rid of kids who did not want to be there because they weren't willing to be committed to winning and they weren't showing a great work ethic? How do you not know, Pat Narduzzi, because I know you're a coach and you look at film, that Coach Prime looked at the video and he could tell who was working hard and who was slacking and BSing around? How do you not know that? Because he could surely look at film and tell who's working their ass off versus who's just BSing around. Your problem is that you're jealous, like many other potential coaches out there who would like to hate on Coach Prime. Coach Prime, Pat Narduzzi, listen to me now, sir. He has taken advantage of a loophole that maybe you should take advantage of, or any of these other coaches out here that's hating on Coach Prime. You have the nerve to set up here, as was reported by 24/7 Sports, saying, well, we'll see how it works out. But that to me looks bad on college football coaches across the country. No, it looks bad on college football coaches across the country who haven't employed tactics to get their teams reshaped, restructured to win. That's you. I think it boils down to jealousy, concern, and the fact that Coach Prime exposes a lot of these other coaches who are not utilizing the tools that are at their disposal. The NCAA created this loophole that Coach Prime has essentially taken advantage of. Why hate on him? Because ultimately, if Coach Prime loses games, you know you all are going to be ready to stand in line to hate on him even more. See, Pat, let me tell you what Pat Narduzzi is concerned about. This is why he's complaining. This is what I think is deep down going on. You see, he lost a top-notch receiver in Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison is a wide receiver who played at Pitt, and he's very disappointed that this young man left Pitt to go to the Pac-12 to play for the USC. There he is, right there. You see, that's really what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen, is that he's really afraid that he doesn't have the ability to maintain the talent on his team because the transfer portal has allowed these young men the ability to have free agency and go where they would like to go. And the fact that you have the NIL money that allows young men to make money off their likeness, their image, autographs, and to take control of their own careers financially, which was never allowed in the past. Now here comes Prime Time, and he rewrites the records with the way he goes about recruiting and utilizing a system that he didn't create. It was created prior to him, and it's still going to be there even after him. And now all these coaches want to complain and wolf tickets and what have you. Remember, it was Nick Saban who had the audacity to make the claim that he thought that Coach Prime might have been tampering with Travis Hunter. How dare he be able to get a 5-star to go to Jackson State? How about we just be honest and say that Coach Primetime is a hell of a seller, a hell of a recruiter, and the fact that he's doing this in the short time that he has to rebuild this team, a team that was 1-11, he told everybody what he was going to do. Why is it a secret, and why do you have coaches like Pat Narduzzi? I don't even know if I'm saying his damn name right or not, folks, but damn it, y'all know what I mean. Why do you have coaches like Pat Narduzzi who wants to jump out the window, have something smart to say, because he's claiming that he doesn't like how Coach Prime is using the system because he's so concerned about the kids? Coach Prime told everybody what he was going to do. He talked to those players, told them if they want to stay, you're going to have to work hard for it. There's going to be a new day. We're going to wear the uniform different. We're going to move different. We're going to play different. We're going to have a different attitude, a different structure to way how things go here. A new sheriff in town. The truth.
Tell the truth.
And some people can't handle that. I'm sorry, folks. I'm really disappointed by one thing. I think we live in a society where we live in a coddling culture now. I said this before on a video. I'm a Gen Xer. Gen Xers, we grew up on the hard side of the mountain. There was no participation trophy. Nobody coddled us. We learned everything the hard way. So why is it today we must coddle these players? We must coddle people. We must make people feel good and all fuzzy all over like Buzz Bunny or something like that. It's not the world. That's not the real world. And that's not the real world of competitive sports and football in this case. So I have to make these statements because I just think we got to stop coddling people and be realistic. He's got to rebuild the team. There were probably players that wanted to leave who knew that they weren't going to fit into his system. There were probably players that he knew were not going to fit in his system, and players that he knew from watching video or film that they were not giving it their all. And he knew that he could not continue with those types of players. Therefore, he had to do what he had to do where kids left, and he retained scholarships, which he had every right to do, to rebuild this football team. And I'm going to say it again. If he goes out there and he loses football games, all these people like Pat Narduzzi will all have something to say critical about Coach Prime if he does not win. This is just the facts of it all, everybody. Like I said, he already has lost someone that he wanted on the football team in Jordan Edison. That brother has gone on to what, USC? There it is back on the screen there. So this is all just some haterade as usual. He even said this: Narduzzi certainly doesn't seem happy about Coach Prime activities with the Buffs. Furthermore, Narduzzi also was not happy when Jordan Addison left the Pitt to end up in USC last offseason for an NIL money. I'm sorry, the young man had every right to get the money that he felt that he deserved in his skill sets. I'm sorry. Gone are the days that these players can just be used up. Because certainly if these players cannot play, Pat Narduzzi would get rid of players who are not living up to the top of the mountain of what he wants to. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for listening to this video. I just had to tell it like it is. Let me stop for a little bit of a commercial break here, and I want you all to check out this shirt right here. This is called Proud Bandwagoner Colorado Buffs. There's a friend of mine who has a website, and he's making beautiful, if you are a Colorado football fan, or you are a new bandwagoner, as he says right here on the shirt, why don't you go over to the website and check out his beautiful gear, Colorado gear. He has this shirt in black, gray, he has yellow shirts. He even has hats. Let me show you this hat right here. He's got hats. This is good quality stuff right here. Okay, good quality stuff. And you'll find this link to his website in the description of this video. It's called buffswagoner.com. Buffs Bandwagoner. Let me correct that. buffsbandwagoners.com. buffsbandwagoners.com. You'll see the link in the description of this video. Click on it. He even has gear like this for children, beautiful hats, shirts, and all sorts of things. And this logo that you see right here, let me fix that real bit for you. This logo that you see right here, he even puts it on a black hat as well. Check out the website, definitely. And pretty soon I'll be getting a discount coupon for you all for the merchandise as well. So check out that website right now. Now, once again, I want to thank you all for watching the video. Appreciate you. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, share this video with a friend and a family member, tell people about the channel. If you are a content creator yourself, go right ahead. I'll say it again, go right ahead and do the most important thing, which is share it in your content, your community tab. Now, I want to say peace to Life and Football out there. That brother has a great channel. Check him out. He always has the latest interview with some of these players that are being recruited at Colorado. So definitely check that brother out. Great channel. He's been a big supporter of this channel as well. I appreciate all of you out there as we get ready to get on out of here. And Pat Narduzzi, man, I tell you, he's something else. Needs to mind his own business. I'm gonna say it again, needs to mind his own business, ladies and gentlemen. But with that said, everybody, y'all take care. Peace.
That's what spring is for. Now we can assess the talent and make the proper adjustments from the portal shortly thereafter. And I love that because there's going to be a lot of talent in the portal shortly thereafter to garnish. Change has to be provoked, and that's why we're here. If it was great, I wouldn't be here. We just got
baby. Make sure you subscribe.
to find the type of kids that are who we are, and we will. expeditiously. But I don't want them to get misguided, because what you see is not what you're gonna see. You heard that? What you see is not what you're gonna see. Okay? Tell the truth. And that's a loaded response. You all know that we're gonna move on from some of the team members, and we're gonna reload and get some kids that we really identify with. So this process is going to be quick. It's going to be fast, but we're going to get it done. The team that we're playing with now is not the team that we're going to play with in Texas the first game.
Prime Sports Media. Prime Sports Media, baby. Yeah. We don't need no haters. Lots of haters out there, like Pat Narduzzi. Prime Sports Media, baby.